Okay. Hi. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the little bit of a technical interruption there, but no matter, the show will go on. Hello, guys. My name is Alec Batter. I'll be solo casting for tonight. This is week 5 of the Bronze Silver League for Overdrive League. Tonight we'll be, for the first game, we'll be watching Geynksters Esports versus Frost Legion. Frost Legion is currently 3rd place with 4 and 5, 4 wins, 5 losses, and Geynksters are at 1 and 6, so they're looking to try and turn it around and try and start getting some wins tonight. So just looking right now, I'm pretty sure, Geynksters, they will be losing 3 bans as the new rule in place is having 3 e-subs for 3 weeks. They're gonna start losing more and more bans, so right now they are at 3, which is gonna definitely hamper their ability to try and counter anybody. But we do see the Yorick ban being pulled out and the Olaf, so right now a lot of top and jungle, so really misfortunate, but hopefully, you know, they're not going to be missing too much. We do see a Tarek ban on the side of Geynksters. Going into this, you know, I mean, just looking straight up at the standings, we do see, you know, 4 and 5 and 1 and 6, so Frost Legion showing that they're a little bit of a middle of the pack, but definitely someone not to be messed with. And Geynksters, at least from my experience in Abyssal League, they were very strong teams from the games that they were able to play, as they were also plagued with a little bit of FFs. So while they are 1 and 6, don't let that, you know, deter you or, you know, misinform you. They are definitely a strong team, and hopefully they'll be able to turn around right about now. But we're going to see the Rakan being first picked from the side of Geynksters, and the Orianna being the last ban on the side of Frost Legion. Picking the Orianna first, super strong champion despite the nerfs coming out, getting rid of, shaving off a little bit of the size of Bellows' breath on his W. Not too much of a nerf, but still anything is anything. Jax also being picked up, so remember guys, these are, obviously we can't be picking an LCS order as per, you know, the new meta per se, but super important to see where these champions will be going. Orange support's always a thing, hopefully, but we do see a brand. This is a really good flex, can be thrown both into the bot lane and in the mid lane. Super strong pick, a lot of AoE damage, and it makes your team fight a lot cleaner and a lot smoother. A couple hovers there, but we do see the Xayah, so now we can start thinking maybe this is a brand bot lane. We can still think of this as a brand bot lane, as they could be running Geynksters could be running a funnel strategy with Rakan, obviously, but maybe they are trying to pick up their bot lane early, and obviously Xayah Rakan is super strong, so we'll just have to wait until the teams shake out a little bit further. Just looking on the side of Frost Legion, though, I mean, they've already picked their top jungle and mid, which allows them to now focus a little bit harder on the side lanes. So hopefully we'll be able to see a super strong lane. Just looking at side of Frost, though, their late game is looking to be really potent. I mean, you have a Jax who in the early game can get a lot of those counter strikes, but more importantly can split push towards the end of the game. And with Ornn and Cassiopeia, Ornn can set up engagements for Cassiopeia to try and go in and use that ground effect, the miasma, and really set up really juicy team fight combos and damage. We do see the Wukong and Cho'Gath being taken away for top and jungle. Obviously Cho'Gath doing very well, always doing very well as a super tank, and Wukong in the top lane has been definitely destroying matchups. Looking for Geynksters, though, they have decided to take away the Twitch and the Morgana, definitely a potent combo. I mean, just looking at the side of Frost Legion, picking up something like a Sivir is gonna definitely enhance their late game team fight. So they're looking to go, you know, they're looking in the face of adversity of these super early game teams or super early game matches, and they're just trying to see if they can make it all the way to the late game, where they're definitely going to be a lot further ahead in terms of utility from each other. We do see that Geynksters, they have picked up the Darius, something of a top lane destroyer. Very potent up there, and it looks like we are going to be seeing a brand mid lane with this Trundle being picked up and the Darius obviously being shown. So time to see what Frost Legion is going to pick for a support. I would hope that it's maybe something of an engage, so Alistar, or maybe more of a pick related champion. So we see maybe a Thresh or a Blitzcrank. So very interested to see what comes out here. Braum is still up, so we could also see that. Yep. I mean, just looking at this, I mean, they do have a little bit of a Freljordian combo with Ornn and Braum. That kind of stuff always leads to a lot of damage being thrown out, and very much in their team fights. So if we're just looking straight up at these teams, I mean, for Geynksters, their laning is going to be, their early to mid game is very very powerful. You've got something like a Trundle who can help in 1v1s against a Jax, so right there, that's already a good matchup right there. And the Brand mid lane's always going to be able to push out towards this Cassiopeia, but the Cassiopeia is going to be able to nullify that using her Poison Fangs and all that, so they're going to be really looking for these mid to late game team fights where they have their damage, they have something like their Tyr or their Ludens who do a lot of damage, especially with their Leandries probably later on in the game. One thing I am a little bit worried about for Geynksters is their lack of tank. They have the Trundle who can obviously steal away stats using Subjugate, but you're not looking. I mean, you can take away the stats from the Ornn and maybe even from the Jax, so Jax can't look for an engage. But I'm worried that as soon as they're able to get these long range engagements with Ornn and the Braum coming out, I'm worried for Geynksters and their team fight ability. That being said, though, Geynksters, they do have something of the Brand and Xayah Rakan, which definitely enhances them and allows them to have these amazing skirmishes in the mid and late game, especially with Rakan being able to use the swiftness and get a lot of those charm knock-up abilities. Xayah obviously with her feathers, and I just think that Xayah also has a little bit better of a power spike in terms of getting at Storm Razor first. You can also go the lethality build. We do see a little bit in Korea where you can take Yomu's, a Lord Dominic's. It helps you with your armor penny. You can very much get that early game damage and get that huge spike earlier into the game. But I mean, just in general, Xayah Rakan's always a great matchup, always a great way to get these team fights going. Going from lane to lane, though, if we just break it down while we are waiting for the game to start, Darius versus Ornn. Ornn should be very, very careful of Darius after level 2 or level 3, as something like the Apprehend from Darius can definitely put the Ornn in a really tricky predicament. So Darius is going to be looking to push the wave constantly and try and find those trades and get a lot of damage onto the Ornn, push him out of lane. Excuse me. For the jungle, Jax versus Trundle, I would consider that much of a early game advantage to Trundle, as Trundle can utilize the Chomp and take away a lot of AD from Jax, and also just later into the game take a lot of stats from Jax. I mean, Jax's ultimate gives him armor and magic resist, but that's kind of just going to be null and void as soon as Trundle decides he wants to use the Subjugate on him in maybe a 1v1 scenario. And Trundle with the pillars, obviously super good utility skill right there. Jax is definitely going to have a little bit of an early clear speed advantage there, so interested to see what lanes they're going to be focusing in. Mid lane, as I said already, I mean, it's Cassiopeia, someone who's very infamous for getting a lot of those early 1v1 trades, and with no movement speed of her own from no boots, it's going to be really important for her to group with her Sivir to give her that ultimate, and definitely with the Ornn to get those long range engages. Bot lane with Xayah Rakan, Sivir and Braum are going to be looking to actually stay back a little bit, as it's something of a little bit of a poke lane, obviously, with Rakan throwing out the shivering, or the gleaming quill, that is, sorry. And obviously Xayah with all her feathers does a lot of damage as it stacks up over time. Sivir is obviously waiting to just use her ricochet and clear the lane instantly. So early to mid game, I do want to give this game to Geynksters. I mean, they have a lot of stuff going for them, and while they do have a little bit of utility with the Brand and the Trundle in the late game, I think if past 30 minutes and they're able to get a lot of farm, I think Frost Legion can take this game. But we're going to be going into game. Go ahead if anybody, if you're a fan of these teams, if you're a fan of someone specifically, go ahead, spam, throw some love in the chat for these people. They are vying to try and get some wins tonight. So if you're a fan of anybody, you know, you're a fan of the Rune Mage, or you're a fan of Frost Legion as a whole, show them some love. I mean, these people are obviously playing, and it's a little bit stressful, but as we go into the game, looking at these summoners, nothing too out of the ordinary. Obviously, there's the difference in Ignite and Exhaust for these people, for the bot lane supports. Brand taking Electrocute, definitely something, you know, it's obviously up to people's preference. Sometimes we do see people take Airy, as you can get a lot of that poke damage from Airy down. And Cassiopeia is taking Phase Rush, something that we do typically see, but something I like on the Ornn is actually taking something like Aftershock. It does help you in those matchups against the Darius per se. You get a lot of those resistances when you get like a gank off. So maybe we might see Jax come top lane a little bit earlier than usual, but we will have to see the jungle pathing from these two teams and see where their focus is going to be. Personally, I would like to see a little bit of focus on this bot side. Braum and Sivir have really good engages, especially post 6. And while the laning phase may be over by that time, it's good to try and at least get these two lanes ahead, or get this bot lane ahead, and put the Xayah behind while you're waiting for Sivir to finally come online and become that late game monster that we do know her to be. Slowly fixing the overlay for myself. Ornn taking a corrupting potion, something always very good, considering that you can just buy a Doran's ring, or a Doran's shield, sorry. You can always build that later on into the matchup if you feel like you're getting poked out. Both AD carries going Doran's shield, so no automatic disadvantage for anyone who decided to go D-Blade in this matchup. Just looking to try and farm it out. Interesting that neither of these AD carries have taken TP. They're just trying to keep that advantage, especially with Brand having TP, so Frost Legion is going to have to play a little bit safer and play those side lanes a little bit better than Geynksters, as they're going to have to worry about the double TP and not just the singular TP that they have on their side. Not able to match that. Typical start 5-point defense, leaving their blue a little bit open, but we already see something different. Jax starting top side, getting the Ornn to help him with the CS. I don't know how much, this is going to set him behind just a little bit, but obviously you're going to probably want that lane to be sitting in front of the turret, so easily gankable, and it allows him to get maybe a little bit of an edge earlier into the game with the gank. But these two are probably going to be fighting, the two junglers, are going to probably be fighting for a scuttle here, as they're both going to be having their red and waiting for the camp to spawn. We already see Z-Mags going straight for the scuttle, and Rune Mage is actually just going to have to run all the way up, and he's going to ignore all the rest of his buffs, takes the blast cone over to his blue. He actually is going to start it. He might catch vision of Z-Mags. Z-Mags is going to appropriately push the scuttle back away from the entrance to blue buff, so Z-Mags does get preferential over here. And actually they did have a ward over the wall, so they're going to see Z-Mags. They know he's top lane. Z-Mags is going to cross back through mid lane to try and go get his blue buff, or even actually contest the scuttle here. Rune Mage now has both of his buffs, and now he's going to also try and run and contest, trying to get that level 2 advantage, but might just be a little bit late. We do see a little bit of a disadvantage on bot side right now. They're able to actually poke him down inside of Frost Legion. They're able to poke down Geynksters super heavily and already start up a 6 CS lead. It's already a wave up. Hopefully Geynksters can maybe get a little bit of pressure now that Trundle is at least on the bot side of the map, but already Z-Mags, he has both of the scuttles, and he actually hasn't wasted any of his blue buff, and he's able to utilize maybe the full proc of it, so good on him. Already a slight advantage over the Rune Mage. Hopefully early game skirmishing will try and equalize this advantage, but across the lanes we do see a little bit of suffering. Geynksters top laner, Mr. Dirtbag, already has a pretty sizable lead of 9, almost 10 CS over Cool Dog. And obviously the 6 CS lead for the side of Z-Mag. 10 CS growing for this bot lane, for the side of Frost Legion. We do see Urgod walks up a little bit close, does already have it, but now Tenemir is in front of them. The Ignite already going down, and now Rune Mage is here, so here comes the Pillar. Exhaust going onto Urgod. Let's see if they're able to get this. Double Flash coming out, and that is going to be the end of the gank, but that is super huge. Only heal being left on the side of Frost Legion's bot lane, and not much being wasted from Geynksters, so great sight from Rune Mage. She's able to recognize that the bot lane actually went in really, really deep, and now, I mean, Geynksters has a huge wave piling up bot lane. They can use that to push out of the wave or even hold it. Ooh, Cool Dog does miss the charge there. The Searing Charge is now going to get apprehended back into Mr. Dirtbag. Is able to get the 5 stacks. Has a lot of AD and is also taking a lot of damage. Cannon Minion and obviously all the casters doing a lot. A couple of early trades going on. Sivir with no flash at least is going to be super safe. Should be playing a little bit safer as you're I mean, you only can really block one ability with your spell shield. But already see an early back for Mr. Salawi. You actually didn't see it, but both of the mid laners did utilize their flashes. Early back already coming out for Mr. Salawi. Does buy her tier, so he's able to stack that pretty early. And actually, Rune Mage top lane, he did take the Krugs here, and now we do see that Mr. Dirtbag is pushed up, so Z-Mag seeing, alright, I'm gonna have to go in and get this gank off, but Rune Mage is now here, and now Mr. Dirtbag might have to do a 1v2 and does miss the Searing Charge again. Let's see what happens. Counter-Strike comes out, the flash from Mr. Dirtbag to try and get away, gets the heal, the apprehend under turret, and now actually noticing something, Rune Mage did actually back there, trying to get his jungle item, or even the Bombing Cinder, to try and keep up with Z-Mags. Great job from Mr. Dirtbag. Did only have to blow his flash, but does end up surviving and takes a lot of pressure from off of the bot side. Know where the jungler is, and they don't have to worry about a gank coming. But now Cool Dog has a little bit of an advantage, as he knows that Mr. Dirtbag, maybe at level 6, can't actually flash the Call of the Forge God. So interested to see what happens. Maybe Z-Mags comes back up top lane and definitely puts the Darius down a little bit further. But currently with the lead, there is a 400 gold lead for the side of Frost Legion. Nothing too huge, obviously. Both bot laners haven't, both sides of the bot lane haven't backed yet, and just hoping, waiting to get enough gold to try and buy maybe their BF Sword or BF Sword boots. Something like Storm Razor is definitely really good. And actually, there we go. We do see the Searing Charge, or the concussive blow actually lands onto the 2 pour for everything. Trying not to get hit with the concussive blows there, but Trundle now in the mid lane of Mr. Salawi, no flash here, nice ultimate. Actually, the Ignite coming out from onto Rune Mage. Rune Mage going really low, and now there we go. Brand gets the first blood onto Cassiopeia. A lot of damage coming out from Pyroclasm, and Z-Will's actually going for trying to block a couple of those minion hits, but the concussive blow is about to go off, and there we go. The engage blocked by the spell shield. And it looks like Tenemir might be going down here. Heal from Urgod goes down, and actually this might be turning around. Frost Legion able to get a lot of damage on the Z-Wills. The Ignite and heal coming out from Frost Legion's bot lane. The Ignite might tick, and Tenemir is gonna get the last laugh there. So 1-1 for the teams right now, but good use of trying to get Mr. Salawi down there, noticing that her flash was still down on the Cassiopeia. And now this is a level advantage, 7-6. Is going to be able to push Ornn out of lane, and if you're looking for an advantage right now, you just want to kind of keep the wave there. And now 2-4 for everything, taking a little bit of a trade, does miss all of the feathers, and now Tenemir is just going to walk up and try and auto her, and Z-Mags is here, so 2-4 for everything is just backing, still does have their flash, so looks like they're going to try and go in, does miss the ultimate there, and there we go, the flash coming out from Z-Mags right into the empowered auto to get 2-4 for anything. So Z-Mags is going to try and walk out. Rune Mage now appearing down in the bot lane. I mean, this just now grows into a larger lead for the one true Urgod on the Sivir, growing into a nice healthy 17 CS lead. Gets a nice tower push onto the turret. Misfortunate, but 2-4 for everything is still able to get their BF Sword. And, you know, with the wave crashing onto the turret, you can just have Z-Wills tank it, and then you can have the wave bounce back onto the turret. That obviously leads to you having a better push, and he can then rotate to other lanes. So I'm interested to see how they're going to be able to transfer this Xayah Rakan into other lanes and try and see what their team fight is. But right now, pretty big top lane fight right now. A lot of minions around, but Dirtbags takes a lot of damage there. Does now actually get the 5-stack passive, and now the ultimate coming out. Call the Forge God onto Dirtbag. Dirtbag might actually just go down here. The heal coming out, and now the Darius dunk. Great job from Dirtbag there. Cool Dog almost was able to get the brittle auto attack passive onto Dirtbag, but Dirtbag obviously using the Noxian Guillotine and trying to get that kill there. So great job from him. That just means that the top lane advantage is now going to grow, trying to equalize what is lost in bot lane. Now that you have your top lane a little bit further ahead, you can definitely take advantage of the top side of the jungle, get that Rift Herald, and get a lot of the focus there. So a little bit of a bot lane trade here. The ultimate coming out from Urgot, so they can recognize they can just go in here. Z-Will's gonna be taking a couple autos. The exhaust coming out onto Urgot. Nice uses a spell shield there to try and block the Feather's root there. With the Darius so far ahead now, and obviously now he has a Merc Tread, so that's really good. And now the bot lane gonna be going in immediately. An engage from Z-Will's right onto Urgot. Urgot's gonna be able to almost get out. The use of the Xayah ultimate and the auto does get true Urgot, and now Pour for Everything has a kill to equalize his death. Great rotation from Ham on the Ritz just in case that Urgot decided to go in. That was a blown flash there, but yeah, you know, just trying to obviously get away. And now they're going to have priority over this dragon. It is a Mountain Drake, which is going to be really good for them, as they do have they already have a lot of people who can do a lot of damage to turrets with Trundle auto attack cancel with the Chomp, and Brand doing just AP in general. AP champions doing a lot of damage to turrets with the recent change a couple patches ago. With such control at the top side now, I mean, Geynksters, they can now prioritize this bot lane. But now Z-Max is here. Flash is already back up on Dirtbag. He does not have the ultimate yet, but does get the heal. Z-Max trying to get a couple more damage onto Dirtbag's the nice apprehend right back on him. Flash to try and get the Q, but a little ambitious. And now Cool Dog is recognizing another engage, going right back on him. Call of the Forge God, the flash auto, the heal coming down, but Z-Max is gonna take the kill on the Dirty. Nice, using the Searing Charge to try and dodge it, but Ham on the Ritz trying to get that catch-up kill, the pick-up kill, trying to equalize whatever top lane loss there was there. But now, I mean, Mr. Slawi is able to get the push into mid lane, trying to get some damage on the turret, with the minions now crashing back into the turret, and another min wave on the way. Despite losing a little bit of mid pressure, it was good on Ham on the Ritz. I like his proactivity and their ability to just proactively move and roam around the map. You know, just push your wave and then go to another lane, see what you can do there. And while he wasn't able to get anything bot lane, he was able to get something for his top laner. So good on him on the Ritz there, on the Brand. Had to use the ultimate there, but should be coming back relatively quickly. Already has his Roa, so he's going to be getting a little bit tankier. Just looking at the mid lane though, Mr. Salawi does already have her Lost Chapter, so that right there, 10% cooldown reduction, a lot of mana, which obviously gives you a lot of mana on top of the tier. Super, just gonna, as soon as you get Lost Chapter, it's a very nice item power spike right there before you get any full items, so good already right there. Z-Max has his completed jungle item with the Cinder Hulk Stalker's Blade, and actually Rune Mage now getting caught out a little bit far up, and now Z-Will's with the engagement. Geynksters are looking to turn this. Mr. Salawi now back here. The ultimate Ignite going right on to Rune Mage, and now let's see what Geynksters are going to be able to do. They're going to be able to turn this around. Temamir is actually going up, trying to almost get killed, but Z-Max gets the counter strike right onto them, and the concussive charges ends up getting the kill, and now Temamir is getting caught out by Ham on the Ritz. So great job, and now Mr. Salawi is going to be able to chase Ham on the Ritz. Z-Max trying to get those auto attacks empowered. Does have to blow the flash and gets the 3-stack passive, and now let's see what Ham on the Ritz is able to do. Tries to get away. Flash on Z-Max still. No flash on Ham on the Ritz, but he's able to get out. Ham's great job there. Trying to get a couple kills onto Temamir and try to equalize the bot lane. And, you know, he did lose his jungler in his bot lane. So, again, I praise Ham on the Ritz. He uses his TP mid to try and catch the wave, and his proactivity and his ability to roam is Definitely commendable, trying to get his team, trying to get whatever advantages he can and trying to clean up any kills that he can. So, great job from him. Z-Will's obviously with his engagements doing, trying to get as many people with the charm. Going a little bit wide, but still, just the ability to do that in general is commendable, obviously. So bot lane right now behind a little bit of about 5 waves, so 30 CS, but I mean, just in terms of items right now, you do have a pickaxe and boots, and now actually my scene engage from Cool Dog does miss the Call of the Forge God, but Z-Max is now going to be here. Remember, Dirtbag does not have Flash. The Counter-Strike he does miss, and so does the Searing Charge, and now Z-Max going a little bit far, trying to get a lot of damage, trying to push Dirtbag out of lane. Great job from Z-Max, you know, just being in the right place at the right time constantly, trying to get those counter ganks and get a lot of pressure into other lanes. Dirtbag obviously great, and now they're actually going to see a 2v1 here. 3v1 on the side. Z-Max is going to get caught with the apprehend. Does actually end up missing there. Great job from him, blows the flash, and now Rift Herald is going to cause a lot of disruption here because that knockback actually ended up sending Rune Mage to the side. You know, kind of did the Draven stand aside. A lot of damage. The root does go down, and now the charm knockup onto One True Urgot. This Braum shield is blocking so much. Braum ultimate comes out, and now concussive blows right onto 2-4 for everything. A lot of damage, and now One True Urgot does get taken down. 2-4 for everything, getting that Triumph passive, and now Temimir getting so close. The ult flash coming out from 2-4 for everything. Great job from him to try and get this lane ahead and, you know, close any gap in terms of gold. Great job. 600 gold in the favor of Geynksters right now. 3-0 right now on Ham on the Ritz. Very, very good. Obviously, he's getting those cleanup kills and getting a lot of that roam potential, so important for him. Oh yes, for anyone who's just now joining, we had to get rid of LCS order due to the meta, and it, you know, wasn't fair to the teams. So for anyone just joining us, there is a little bit of out of order. For right now, looking back at the game, I mean, Z-Max still has an advantage. Obviously, he is 2-0 right now. He has a CS lead right now, but later on in the game, I mean, Rune Mage is going to come online sooner or later. He's going to be able to get that Zeke's convergence and do a lot of damage. DC Dirtbag does a little bit of a dance for us here on stream. And this is a huge wave for the side of Frost Legion. I mean, this is a 2-wave stack right now onto the wave, and you're able to get so much, and you're able to actually push this wave, especially if you're playing Sivir. Sivir already actually has her Essence Reaver, while for everything was going for the Storm Razor. Essence Reaver obviously touted as a very strong item for champions who use their ultimate a lot. Someone like the Sivir, someone like a Lucian. Definitely looking to try and get those cooldowns down, and especially since your Ricochet already gives you a lot of attack speed when your ultimate is when you have ultimate. It just makes it so that you're able to get a lot of Ricochet procs and a lot of you know, her Q down, and a lot of maybe even Spell Shield procs, so it can save her from a lot of these, you know, targeted abilities and stuns, knockups, all you know, the charms and everything. So very good itemization, trying to be a little bit more defensive. So actually, do you see that they're going to be going in now? It is a bot lane. Ham on the Ritz again, bot side gets the full proc onto him, and the ult engage from Z-Will is going to end up getting the kill for Ham on the Ritz onto Z-Max. So 8 for 5 right now. We do see that Mr. Salawi taking that time in the mid lane to try and push this turret, but another dragon is going to go the way of Geynksters. They're going to get this Windrake. Ham on the Ritz now in the mid lane to try and get this, and again, I mean, the Ham on the Ritz is constantly roaming, able to get a lot of that shove, and great job. The Windrake is going to be going down, and the Rift Herald actually is taken by Dirtbag by himself, so good job for him. He's going to get that Rift Herald proc top lane, get that back, and go right back to the lane. The next dragon is a Mountain Drake, so again, it's something that Frost Legion is going to be looking forward to getting. Clearing a couple wards bot lane, but I mean, right now Mr. Salawi already has her full Seraph, so that right there is a huge, I mean, you get the shield right there. And I mean, Ham on the Ritz has his 2 items. He has the Leandri, or sorry, not the Leandris, the Rylai's, and the 6 stacks on his Aroa, so he's already super tanky. He's got a lot of mana and health, and he's also stacking some really good AP. Not as much as something like a Luden's, but obviously you're going a little bit more for that utility kind of tank build. Obviously with the Ligandri slow, you just do with the Realize slow, you just get so much, and with your constant passive burning and ticking away, it keeps reapplying Realize. Sorry, I don't know why I'm getting those two mixed up, but yeah, I mean it's a really good utility. Z-Wills now the side of Geynksters, they're trying to get a little bit of advantage. Braum not being in the lane. A lot of damage here from the side of Geynksters with the Zaya Rakan licking a lot of this bot lane, and Mr. Dirtbag always having his lane pushed up, you know, able to pressure this Ornn. If he ever leaves the lane, if he ever decides, hey, I want to go join a team fight, put that ult down, he is going to have to recognize the consequence of, you know, getting that turret down, getting the turret taken, and a lot of damage going down. I mean, objective, still no turrets taken. It is reaching around 20 minutes. We're in 1920, but I mean, Mr. Dirtbag already has a little bit of a lane advantage, if only for the reason that he does have this Rift Herald, and I'm interested to see how he's going to be able to use it. I mean, we do see an Apprehend now, so he's going to be going on Searing Charge to try and get away. Bellows Breath to try and trade a little bit, does get the Aftershock proc, so trying to sustain where he can, when he can. Righteous Glory being taken on the side of Cool Dog. Obviously you're not looking for that kind of stuff in lane, you're not trying to get any kind of lane advantage, but it does allow you to have that, you know, run and engage factor for team fights or any kind of skirmishes with your jungler. A lot of Merc Treads actually being taken. I mean, Ring Mage does have a Merc Treads being purchased, and the Merc Treads also being bought for Rune Mage, trying to minimize it. Now Z-Mags actually is going to be able to catch the Rune Mage down, and now an engage. The ultimate from one Urgot is actually taking a lot of damage from the Zaya Rakan right now. Great disengage from the Braum, and now the full team is here. Actually, Ham on the Ritz is not even coming. He's now the Flash Ignite going right onto him. This slow ultimate being used by 2-4 for anything. 2-4 for everything, sorry. Great job. They're actually able to get, they do trade both 80 carries. 2-4 for everything does use his flash, but does not use the heal. But in a very large objective now, the Rift Herald was actually dropped mid, so they're actually going to get 2 turrets off of this. This is huge. While they were able to trade bot lane and try and get that bot lane ahead a little bit further for the side of the Frost Legion, with 4 people roaming down, I mean, that just allowed Ham on the Ritz, Rune Mage, and Dirtbag to just drop the Herald and come mid. That's 2 turrets down, so that opens up a little bit of these side lanes, and now Rune Mage is able to just walk through the enemy jungle and take a lot of Frost Legion resources. And you have a lot of pushing waves. I mean, obviously this Mr. Dirtbag on this Darius, he's constantly going to be able to push this wave. A huge wave in top lane, 2 wave stack. Top lane is going to be large amount of damage going on to the turret, about half health already. 3 men up in top lane right now with the Cassiopeia slightly shattering his scene on a ward. But this bot lane is going to stay a little bit even, as Sivir and Zaya are obviously going to be able to clear waves quite instantaneously. And now we're going to see an engage 2-man top now. Let's see what Frost Legion is able to do. The engage onto Dirtbag does have his flash. The flash coming out from Cool Dog. And now Rune Mage is here to try and get that counter. Let's see who uses his Subjugate on. The Righteous Glory does come out, is already utilized, and now Rune Mage and the Dirtbag are going in. Z-Max taking a lot of damage from the press the attack. Already is going down, 5-man stack, and now the double flash has to be blown, but Dirtbag does get the ultimate, gets the dunk with the Dunk Master Darius there, so a large advantage already going down the side of Geynksters. 3k gold lead right now, 3.6k gold lead right now, and now we do see the engage here, and now 2-4 for anything being caught right in the middle of this jungle, trying to get to the blast cone. Lots of low health bars, and now he actually has to use the heal, but does end up getting out. Urgot and Tromir are trying to see what they can do here, and now actually, I mean, we do see that 4 people are now bot side. Z-Wills is here, Ham on the Ritz is also here. Does already have his boots now, and now the flash coming out from Ham on the Ritz, trying to get the stun. The stun does go down. Z-Wills is able to pick up the kill. Temamir getting a lot of damage. Flash from Ham on the Ritz does have to be blown, but now they are able to push this bot lane, and Geynksters looking very, very strong. We do see that Mr. Salawi is now bot side. Again, if Frost Legion wants to try and win this game, they're gonna have to try and slow this one down. Ornn is now bot lane. The ult from Cassiopeia does now miss. Z-Max taking so much damage from Ham on the Ritz. The turret does go down, and now let's see, they're probably gonna keep on chasing. Ornn, no ultimate. Mr. Salawi, no ultimate on the Cassiopeia, so This is looking really strong for the side of Geynksters. Gonna just keep pushing this bot lane and goes a little bit under turret. Does take a lot of damage there, but mid wave is stacking for the side of Geynksters. Able to just leave that lane alone. One True Urgot is able to rotate top lane, catch the wave from Mr. Dirtbag, who's just been constantly pushing this. And while it is looking bleak a little bit for the side of Frost Legion, again, I mean, looking at their team comp, they're looking to try and get this late game. They're trying to just scale into the late game, trying to get Ornn to get a little bit more items so that his ultimate, not just for his ultimate, but to get a little bit more utility. And something with like the Cassiopeia and Sivir, you're definitely looking to get those late game fights. The Another Dragon does go over to the side of Geynksters. The second Mountain Drake going over, so already these objectives are going to get burned down. And Mountain Drake is the next and final dragon, so Frost Legion is hopefully going to be looking to be in a position where they can try and contest and try and get at least a little bit more of an objective standpoint onto this game. But while we are looking at it, just looking across the lanes, I mean, there's a lot of advantages being that are able to be seen on the side of Geynksters. I mean, across every lane, there's about a pretty hefty CS lead, or at least for top lane anyway. But jungle for the side, I mean, for Frost Legion, sorry, I have to backpedal here a little bit, but for Frost Legion, I mean, we do see CS leads for these lanes individually, except for top lane, but they're not able to convert these kinds of leads into something more meaningful, something like, you know, turrets or even objectives or just kills. And hopefully they're able to get to that late game ideal that they want. Now they are going to be grouping around the now dead dragon. The closest thing that they probably want to be getting is this mid lane, as it is somewhat of a standing gold objective. It's pretty low. Right now, Geynksters, they're grouping around this top side, but now they're pretty far, and now One True Urgot is able to actually utilize the power of the Sivir Frost Legion, trying to get that bot side, trying to equalize. And Darius right now, Mr. Dirtbag, getting a lot of pressure on this top wave, going down really low. Maybe you might see a little bit of a, you know, trying to trade with him, but he might be able to actually just take this turret. And now Mr. Dirtbag is going to be in a little bit of a predicament, might have to trade his life for the turret here. A lot of engages. The ultimate coming out from from Cassiopeia. Sorry, the dunk is actually able to trade. Cool Dog going down. A lot of damage onto Z-Max. Z-Max is really, really low. If maybe he took a little bit more of a minion damage there, he could have gone down. But great job from Dirtbag. He's able to go 1-for-1, trading 1-for-1 and getting that turret. So pretty worthwhile for the side of Geynksters. Frost Legion, on the other hand, they're looking to press all these lanes, getting that mid lane to crash into the turret, pretty huge. And now, I mean, they did wait. Frost Legion, they were able to finally get a turret. They were able to get that bot lane turret. Great job from them right there. And actually, Baron was taken during all of this. Sorry, I didn't realize Baron was taken during this. So right now, Geynksters has a pretty big lead. Mr. Dirtbag obviously doesn't have it, but everyone else on the team does have this Baron, and that is huge for the side of Geynksters. Are able to get these lanes heavily pushing on their favor, especially with the lane matchups, and obviously with the minions being able to catch up. I mean, this is pretty interesting from the side of this engage, at least for the bot side. They're able to try and get this bot lane rolling right under the turret. Darius is obviously just going to try and keep that top wave, and this is going to be really hard for someone like the Cassiopeia to try to clear these waves. For someone like a Sivir, maybe he might take a couple more items. Did already get the Phantom Dancer for One True Urgot, so trying to look for those 1v1s, but without the full team here, I mean, Mr. Salawi is going to have a little bit of an issue trying to clear these waves, as an AP carry. So now they're actually just going to rotate to mid after taking that bot lane turret, trying to get a full court press, trying to get all these late waves to slowly crash onto the side of Frost Legion. With something like a Sivir, they're slowly getting to the point where that ricochet is just going to instant clear waves, and they're able to actually get away. But the minions, the level CS, or sorry, the level disadvantage right now, 3 levels up for Dirtbag. The Ornn ultimate coming out from Bulldog. They're looking to try and get an engage onto Z-Wills. The engage, counter-strike going in, but now the Pyroclasm from Ham on the Ritz doing so much AoE damage, able to burn down Frost Legion. Triple kill, quadra kill from him. Let's see if they're able to give the Penta over to Ham on the Ritz. And no, 2-4 for everything is apparently not 2-4 to get the final kill of the ace. And Ham on the Ritz is going to be 9-0 with that quadra kill. They're able to now push, get a lot of this mid inhib down, and maybe they might be trying to knock onto the Nexus doors here. Nexus Tower 1 taking a lot of damage, going super low, and now, yeah, this is going to be the end of the game for Frost Legion. A little bit unfortunate, but nevertheless, a great performance from Geynksters. If only Frost Legion are able to hold out a little bit longer. Great performance from Geynksters, getting a lead in the top side, and obviously with the roaming mid laner Ham on the Ritz. Great performance from him. Very great roaming ability and able to be at the right place in the right time. So congratulations to Geynksters for that game. And hopefully Frost Legion. The comp obviously wasn't terrible. The execution could do a little bit of work, but nevertheless, a great attempt from them. Hopefully they'll be able to overcome this and go on to the next game. All right, so the next game is going to be Illumination Valiant versus RAR. These are the top two teams right now for Overdrive League, so this is definitely going to be a very close game to want to watch. RAR being 6-3, while Illumination is 8-1, looking at an almost flawless. So interested to see how that's going to turn out. Sorry, give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, I mean, for the side of, okay. So guys, we are gonna actually take a break going into the next game. So, thank you guys for joining us, and be right back. And hopefully we'll be able to see the Elimination versus RAR game. So, catch you guys in a little bit. Oof. Mm-hmm.